We're facing a dark time right now. Some of us are stuck at home. Some are stuck far away from home. Some of us have lost their jobs, and some have to shut down their businesses. Some of us are cutting down the expenses, and some can't even pay their rent and bills. Some can go back to school, and some can go back to their jobs. And some of us are still working day and night, no matter how exhausted they are or how dangerous it is. Some of us have become infected, and they were isolated from their families, their loved ones, and have to be alone in the walls. Or even worse, it is their children, their parents, or loved ones that are infected, and they don't even have a chance to say goodbye. The virus is rampaging. The numbers are increasing. The rumors are spreading. The fear is growing. It seems that all of a sudden, the whole country lost its vitality and prosperity. You're not the only one who is worrying. You're not the only one who is fearing. You're not the only one who is struggling. We are all facing a dark time right now. Our country is facing a dark time right now. This is a wall. It's a wall without guns, bombs, or smoke, but it's a wall with virus, doubts, fears, rumors, and discriminations. But we should all be the fighters, my dear fellows. Not just the doctors, the nurses, the policemen, and scientists who should fight. All of us should be the fighters in this war. We should fight against fear. We should fight against uncertainty. We should fight against doubts. We should fight against selfishness. We should fight against rumors, and we should fight against discriminations. This is going to be a fierce and cruel war, but don't be afraid. We're going to win this war together in the end. Our people may get sick. Our city may get sick, but we, as a brave nation, will never, ever get sick, because we have the spirit, the history, and determination to win. We've been on this planet for over 5,000 years. We've witnessed much darker moments. We've been through much crueler trials. No matter it's the war, invasion, starvation, poverty, or natural disasters, we've always survived, and we've always stood back up on our feet. We've always won in the end, and we'll definitely win this time. We don't know how long this will take or what cost we have to pay, but there's one thing we're 100% sure, and that is we're going to win this war in the end. Because that's what we've been doing for the past 5,000 years, and that's what makes us the greatest nation ever. It is only by going through dark times that we can separate the greatest from the great. In each dark time, we've always fought together, no matter how strong our enemy was or how impossible it seemed to win. We just keep fighting because we are all fighters. When all of this is over, we'll have another great and heroic story to tell our children, our grandchildren, and they will tell the next generations. And that's how we'll pass the great spirit on and keep it alive forever.
Three, two, one.
Hello, we are Group 6.
And I'm Violet.
I'm Carol.
I'm Yvette.
I'm Angel.
Hello, I'm Ruby. Now it's our show time.
Hi, Angel, Carol. Hello.
Are you going to math class?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go together.
Okay.
What would you like to eat tonight?
I want to eat noodles.
I want to eat pizza.
Let's go to the first canteen. Okay. Okay, let's go. Hi, Angel, Carol. Let's go to math class. Let's go.
Most of us will probably fall in love a few times over the course of our lives, and in the English language, for falling.
Okay. Happy Christmas!
Oh,
Here you
are. Welcome.
Please enjoy yourself.
Okay. And then me.
Okay, thank you.
Sit down.
You want to go to party with us tonight?
Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's
I
go
like
together.
No, I don't want to go.
Why?
Why?
I plan to go to a park. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jumping. Falling is accidental. It's a
Hello. Happy Christmas.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Thank you. But okay.
We have to go. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Hey, boys and girls, can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's begin our class. First, type your name, please. Ruby, can you talk about what we learned yesterday? Ruby, can you hear me? Ruby, what's wrong? Ruby.
想象中的网课装卡。
下面这道题目，阿翔，你来解一下。阿翔，卡住了，那后面同学来吧。
现实中的网课装卡。
小朋友，你是否有很多问号
？Suggestions about moving paragraphs around even. Did you guys just see Tyler get kidnapped? Do we need to call the police?
Hi Dan, good morning everyone. I want to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on students.
Hi Dan, good morning everyone. I want to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on students. There are two main contents of my PPT. With those two contents out of the way, I'll talk a little bit about what we can do. Now let's begin. The first one is the way of having classes. Before COVID-19, we can study in the classroom. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to take classes online at home. Online courses have some disadvantages, such as being limited by the internet, unable to get the most direct feedback, and more challenging and difficult. The second one is the way of study. Online classes will reduce the self-control ability of some students. At the same time, online courses also give more time for independent study. Online courses face greater temptations and challenges. So, what can we do under this situation? I think we should obey the command of the government first. In terms of study, we should combine work and rest to enhance the ability of independent learning and self-control. Of course, students have also made a lot of contributions to the battle against the epidemic. I believe that without concerted efforts, the epidemic will surely pass. That's all for my part. Thank you for your listening and watching.
叫一下妈妈。
啥？
叫一下妈妈。
妈妈。
我说你把妈妈叫过来。
这样活着我不想这样活着，我不想这样活着，我不想。
The epidemic has a great impact on social employment and staff affected by the epidemic. The productions and sales of major industries have been hit to varying degrees. When the epidemic situation is serious, the government will stop the productions of major enterprises to reduce the concentration of people, and the economic development will be hindered. Therefore, the epidemic will have a significant impact on employees or employed persons. Next, I will explain from the following different aspects. First of all, the most important problem facing the employees is how to keep themselves from losing their jobs, because everyone needs to strictly abide by the epidemic prevention requirements and avoid large-scale personnel gathering during the epidemic period. The social and economic developments will be hit, and many enterprises will not receive orders. The companies can't operate without funds. Factories are shut down and enterprises are shut down everywhere. Many enterprises, especially private enterprises, are struggling under the influence of the epidemics, and some even face bankruptcies in this case. In order to protect themselves, enterprises will reduce the number of new employees, and some will even lay off some of the employees, further reducing the numbers of jobs. Therefore, the unemployment rate is expected to rise. At the same time, because of the competitive pressures of the epidemic society, many fresh graduates can't find jobs or encounter difficulties. On the other hand, people's working style and working modes have changed, and employees are required to be isolated at home. However, most enterprises have found new ways for their employees to work online or flexibly. The advantage of this is that employees' work efficiencies have been improved, and they can finish their work in the ways they want. The companies also save rent and utilities because of the change of working style, reduce daily expenses and daily consumptions. Finally, the epidemics has affected people who work across borders, and entries and assets managements have become stricter and even foreigners are not allowed to enter. This has caused inconvenience to people. Governments of various countries have successfully adopted a series of measures, such as border blockades and mass isolation. Migrant workers are forced with the difficulties of having family to return home, being mass isolated and being forced to go out to work without sanitation. For individuals, because of the distance, they can't finish their work well, and some even lose their jobs. For some foreign companies, it is also a heavy loss, such as the delays of cross-border logistics, the increase of logistics, the increase of logistic price, the increase of exports tariffs, the double epidemic prevention costs. These problems have been staged all over the world. Many stores and factories in foreign countries have been closed, and the global economic recessions have hindered foreign trade. Countries have taken different measures to deal with the epidemics and achieve different results. Among them, the tourist industries such as tourism and service industries suffer the most.
Hello, I'm Yvette. Now I will introduce some economy stories on the pandemic to you. Now let us see the PPT. As we all know, every coin has two sides. After the outbreak, economy has been hit hard. But the fact tells us God also opens a window for us. When He closes a door, economy will never stop forever. It have walked through that window. Then what changes have happened? As a member of society, we can't get away from it. And what should we do? Now let us discuss together. Firstly, let us take a look at how the economy has struggled amid the pandemic. After we went into lockdown, the world has hit the pause button, malls closed, shops closed. So, what happens to the economy in these situations? First, let us see a video to see what happened.
也是那个以前是大概5、6千，现在是4000多。其实以前是那个就是开营之前还是比较好的，就是之前就是还好。闹的，应该是跟关了第二次，就是没有操作。这个很好的，就是这个疫情受点影响，客人少了，到现在晚上长，那就是在那里。但是在疫情期间，你这个店有没有就是什么转让呀，或者是关店的店铺？因为现在我看在线上好多这种店都有好多都转让。对，因为我过年以后人是就是反正要弄是吧
Okay, from this video, we can see obviously the real economy has been hit and the people's incomes have been reduced. Now let us see some data. This is the real increase in GDP from 62 countries and the region in the first half of 2020. We can see that all the numbers are minors. Then there are some surveys. From this surveys, we can see that the price of many products have gone up, and the data and the surveys reflect that the economy has taken a hit. At the same time, the three main industries all have been influenced. They are agriculture, industry, service, especially service, such as tourist trader. And with the impact of the real economy, the employment problems is also prominent. Many people are closed at home. And this is a planet. And then let us see some opportunities. We know that darkness is temporary. There are opportunities coming our way. There are many statistics and surveys show that our economy is slowly coming back. Like this. And the economy shock has had some good efforts, such as force industry reform, improve the quality of college students, and develop emerging industries, such as fresh e-commerce, online education, online medical service, and online office. After we know the plight and opportunities, what should we do? I have suggestions. First, we should take a broad view of the world, seize the opportunity, and actively adapt to the development of the times. Second, we should live one day at a time and always expect something good to come, because we all know the epidemic will end and the world will be better placed. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Dan, and hi, friends. Today, my topic is about the impact of COVID-19 on nature, and I will divide into two parts. The first part is about impact of nature, and the second part is about impact of animals. Now, let's move into the first part. Recently, the global media has universally reported a phenomenon. Due to the spread of global epidemic, people's outbound activities are generally reduced. Unexpectedly, wildlife gets more living space, and the natural environment has opportunities to repair themselves. For example, the carbon dioxide emissions are the most dropped in the world since World War II, according to foreign scientists on benchmark emissions data. Since 2018, only 10 kilometers from Koyong and its popular Maya Bay has been declared permanently closed due to overwhelmed visitors. During the outbreak, the National Park Expert Group of Thailand used coral reef breeding technology to plant nearly 30,000 young coral plants in the bay, and the survival rate proved the gradual restoration of Maya Bay ecology. In the wake of global COVID-19 pandemic, human beings have to self-imbibe, and nature has been quietly changing in just 2 or 3 months. As humanity struggles to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, nature is slowly recovering after years of being eroded by tourism. Next, I want to show you a video. So, after watching this video, are you filled with emotions? Now let's move into the second part, the impact of animals. As humans struggle to fight COVID-19, nature is gradually recovering after years of tourism erosion. Thailand's 133 national parks have been closed for 2 consecutive months, and Thais have been strictly following travel restriction, which is the best time for animals to enjoy life without any interference. Meanwhile, in the southern resort town, dozens of blackfin reef sharks were swimming by the beach, once crowded with thousands of vacationers with no trace of them. In addition, a group of presumed turtles were also found reaching, climbing, and Phuket beaches to lay eggs. Let's watch a video. So, when the epidemic hit the pause button for human activities and nature studies restoration mode, people saw these scenes and said, such a good man and nature, but this should also cause us to reflect. People and nature should live in harmony. People should revere nature, respect nature. After the epidemic, we should also take better care of nature. That's all. Thank you. Bye.
Hello Dan and my dear classmates. For my part, I would like to give a conclusion for our presentation. For today, our topic, I truly want to ask you a question. Can we change the world? Yeah, definitely. The sudden outbreak of COVID-19 has taken mankind by surprise. However, we truly need a thorough thinking of the hardships. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change ourselves. According to the previous statement, I divide my conclusion into 4 parts: people, enterprise, world, and nature. And for the first part, people, we can see such a difference among the people. For students, online courses make someone confused, but there are still someone who have clear goals and rigorous plans. And for the working man, someone suddenly loses their means of livelihood, while someone still can receive the offer. So, for this part, I would like to give it a phrase: crisis mentality. Whether it's savings or knowledge, we must think of that danger in terms of safety and always be prepared for the worst. And for the second part, enterprise. The epidemic has paralyzed many offline business. So, we just resign ourselves to our fate? Of course not. In 2003, Ali created Taobao, the achievement of a commercial maze. Now, many offline enterprises have begun to explore online business and create more business models. The epidemic is not only a dilemma, but also a potential opportunity. So, the core vocabulary for the part is innovation. And for the third part, world. COVID-19 is not just about one region, one city, one country. It's about the whole world. So, in the face of such a global catastrophe, unity is our answer. And for the last part, nature. First, I would like to show you a passage from a movie. At first, no one cared. It's just a fire, a drought, the loss of the species, the loss of the city, until this disaster touches everyone. There are many discussions on the internet about the origin of the novel coronavirus, and I've come across one that makes sense. This is just nature's punishment for people. 2020 has been a remarkable start, with one disaster after another around the world. Bushfires in Australia, locusts in East Africa, volcano tower erupted in the Philippines, and frozen Canada. Someone jokes that the disaster really will join in the fun. But the truth behind all this is the accumulation of previous human excesses. Nature can't spare for any time, so she starts making noise to punish people. All sorts of disaster myths are contemplate. Writing along with nature requires a certain amount of care and reverence for nature is to protect ourselves. That's all for our group's presentation. Thank you for your watching.